It is the Nippon Budokan. You could not get a more legendary venue than this for the 2020 Tokyo Paralympic Games Judo. It's day 3 of the Paralympics, it's day 1 of the Judo, and we have the medal sessions for the first 4 weight categories. 2 in the men's, 2 in the women's. In the women's we're going to have under 48 and under 52 kilo. In the men's under 60 and under 66. We were whittling them down in the first session of the day, and now we're here for the 2 bronze medal matches and the gold medal match in each of the categories. There will be 2 bronze medals awarded, a silver and of course a gold.
Welcome to Tokyo 2020 Paralympic Games.
Here's the schedule. We're going to start with the lightest first, the women's under 48 kilos and the men's under 60 kilos. As you can see, 2 bronze medal matches in each. There will be 2 bronze medals. They're not going to have to fight off after that. We have a larger podium in the combat sports. Then we're moving up to the women's under 52s and the men's under 66 kilo categories.
Men under 60 kilograms, women under 52 kilograms, and men under 60.
Those people you can see in the crowd, you can see they've all got accreditations round their necks. Obviously, it's a great shame that we can't have fans here. We couldn't have them at the Olympics, can't have them at the Paralympics either. But that's why we are broadcasting to you, so that you can watch it at home. They're watching, they are volunteers, and then you'll hear some cheering and some applause. That'll be from the various delegations for the athletes involved. The mat there, it's the same as in the judo that you might have seen on television, or of course live, or perhaps even taken part in yourself. It's 10 by 10, exactly the same for para judo. And the only difference is that in para judo, the athletes are visually impaired. Some of them partially, others with a red, as you can see there. Here's a perfect example of it. Victoria Potapova, she has a red circle on the blue judogi there, and that, she's just hidden behind the cameraman there. There you can see the red circle on her blue kit, and that shows that she is fully visually impaired. So she is going to be helped out onto the mat for this first contest.
London Paralympic Games silver medalist Lee Kai-Lee.
First bronze medal contest, women's under 48 kilo category. Lee Kai-Lin, already been introduced by the stadium announcer. There's the referee for this contest, Lee Kai-Lin, 29 years old, number 4 in the world, taking on Victoria Potapova, leading the way. She is number 10 in the world, 47 years old, bronze medalist in Athens in 2004, Beijing 2008, London 2012. The contest will last for 4 minutes. Well, I say they'll last for 4 minutes. They could be over in the blink of an eye. You win a contest by gaining ippon, or by 2 waza aris. If you've never watched judo before, then don't worry, all of that will become quite obvious as we watch, and we will point them out to you. Ippon, when you are thrown to the floor and your back hits the floor. Waza ari, part of your back or one shoulder is thrown to the floor, or if you are pinned down for 10 seconds by your opponent, that's waza ari. 20 seconds, it's ippon. The referee calls them in together. They will hold on to one another, and we are underway.
So we have Potapova fighting for RPC team, wearing the blue colors. From Chinese Taipei have Lee Kailin. You see on the arm there, the yellow circle, that is depicting the fact that she is in fact deaf. So in blind judo, we have visually impaired, but there are other impairments that potentially come into play as well. And straight down into the action, Lee is on top of Potapova here. You can see trying to go for a submission or a strangle, perhaps. And the referee calls mate, brings them back to the starting position. Kumikata, they have to hold on to the gi to start off with, be in an upright position, and then they can get back into the action. 4-minute bout. This is 3 minutes 18 seconds still on the clock, so plenty of time for either of them to get a score. Number of ways you could score. Some have been explained, the wasari and the ippon. Ippon is the objective, that's what everyone is trying to go for. If it's not quite good enough for an ippon, then it could be given a wasari. And that can be achieved through a throw. But there are other ways of scoring as well, through arm lock or through strangles, leading to a submission. And here we have the tap out, because Potapova has achieved a submission from Lee Kailin. The referee called mate. They'll come back to the center of the area, and the win will be awarded to Potapova. And along with that win, of course, the bronze medal.
So the first medal is going to go the way of the Russian Paralympic Committee. In blue, Victoria Potapova, bronze medalist in Athens 2004, Beijing 2008, London 2012. She then gave birth to a daughter, Stefania, in 2013. Coming back to competition here, makes it all the way to the bronze medal match, and then forces her opponent into submission. So that is the first of the 2 bronze medals in this, the lightest of weight categories. Delight for Victoria Potapova. She's doing a headstand. The referee saying to her, no, I know you've won an Olympic medal and you have every right to celebrate. However, when you are on the tatami, there is a certain sense of decorum that has to be observed, but that is what the Paralympics is all about. A 4th bronze medal for her at the age of 47, coming back. She'll be able to celebrate that with her 8-year-old daughter. She's 47 years old herself. And here we see the move again.
Ladies and gentlemen, you can see the highlights of this first bronze medal contest on the screen.
There she extends that arm and achieves the submission. But all friends afterwards. Great to see athletes embrace in that respect. But a fantastic win there, Potapova. Another bronze medal.
Bronze medal and a handstand. The handstand not compulsory in Para-Judo, but why not?
Bronze medal contest for women's under 48.
Let's see if the winner of this contest will give us a handstand, a headstand, a cartwheel maybe afterwards. A reminder, 2 bronze medals awarded in all of the combat sports. Yulia Ivanitska of Ukraine, number 6 in the world, 32 years old. Again, she is a bronze medalist from 2012 and 2016, so someone again with impeccable pedigree. She is taking on 33-year-old number 15 seed Hangai Shizuka. Also in her 3rd Paralympic Games, she finished 7th in London 9 years ago, 5th in Rio, so she's looking to make a leap every time she competes. And will she be able to finish 3rd this time around?
And guys, hobby among others, is climbing mountains. Wonder if she can climb a mountain here and get herself a bronze medal. Do what I can do now is her philosophy.
Hangai on the left in white. She came through the repechage. Then Ivanitska was defeated in the semi-finals by Martinet of France, the #1 seed here, Sandrine Martinet, who we will see very soon going in the gold medal match.
So the referee gets them into position, ready for the combat. They have to be upright, and they have to be making contact as we get underway with the 4-minute bout. We had Ivanitska in the blue colours. Straight away, she's trying to get in a dominant position. As Mate is called, the referee will bring them back to the centre. And often they will use this opportunity just to rethink. They've now had their first encounter, so they'll start to consider, what kind of reactions do I get from my opponent here? If I move forward, if I tap the foot, if I try to do a throw, how do they react? It's all about setting up and getting ready for the attack. And in para judo, you will see quite a number of mate from the referee to bring the athletes back into the center. And you'll note that when they get close to the edge, the referee will call jogai and continue to repeat that to give the athletes an opportunity to orientate themselves on the tatami so that they realize where they are competing. See, Ivanitska tried the foot sweep, the ashiwaza. It's all about testing. Hangai tries the drop sioi. The language for judo is Japanese. But there's a mix of Japanese and English you'll hear throughout the bouts to help those that aren't familiar with judo to understand perhaps a little more what's going on. 45 seconds gone on the bout, 3 minutes 11 still to go. Ivanitska trying to dominate with the grip. Hangai just hooking at the legs, the uchimata. Try that. Uchigari. The niwas and the groundwork, all important. Referee will allow them to continue, just for a period though. He calls mate.
When the referee calls mate, then the clock obviously stops, so we have up to 4 minutes of actual combat. As we have a look at the various volunteers from local school who are able to attend the Nippon Budokan today and see these medal contests.
Now, although there are 4-minute bouts, if the score were to go to 0-0 or 1-1 with a wazari each at the end of time, then it will continue in golden score. And then there is no time limit, and they will continue to compete until one or the other achieves a score to win. Or if there is a hansokamaki for a number of warnings. I'll tell you about those should they occur throughout this bout or indeed later.
Yes, we haven't had any penalties so far in the first 2 bouts. They usually see them quite often either for a lack of attacking intent, times when one opponent will pull down on the other. Backing off.
See Hangai there trying another throw. Putting in a lot of groundwork now, Hangai. See, Ivanska closes down, pulls her arms in tight, tries to protect herself, to stop Hangai trying to get hold of one of those arms or indeed a lapel to put on a strangle.
Ivanitska looking like she's struggling a little bit here. It's been Hangai who's had the attacking intent thus far as the referee leads her back to the position to start. As you can see for the judoga on the left wearing the white, there's the white sticker on the ground, blue for blue as well.
Those stickers to give an indication of where the athletes should start to compete from. The referee can ask them to step forward of that, bring them in a bit closer for Kumikata to hold on to each other, to take that initial grip. And it is a grip that Hangai certainly has here.
Waza-Ari goes the way of the Ukrainian Ivanitska. Sweeping foot down underneath, and she got one of her opponent's shoulders down, so that gives the Rio bronze medalist the lead with only 75 seconds to go. Mikhailo Romankevich is the coach of Ivanitska. You can see him there in the background in the yellow, barking out the instructions with just over a minute to go.
Just over a minute, but there's still plenty of time for Hangai to get back into the match. She is trying to use that knee waza. Referees stop the bout, get them back to the center again. Hangai will use this opportunity to just have a little think about the strategy that she needs to apply to overcome that wasari from Ivanska, the Soto Makikomi. You hear the referee calling jogai, letting the athletes know that they're close to the edge of the area. Once more, leads them back to the center. 42 seconds still to go. Still time to level the scores.
Or indeed win it. It would take an ippon to win it. One more waza-ari, so half an ippon, as it were, would be enough for Ivanitska. First Shido, so the first penalty given against Ivanitska. 3 of those are the equivalent of a waza-ari, and 4 is the equivalent of an ippon. So she won't be too worried about that at the moment, and it won't affect the scoreboard. If the score remains the same and we tick down to 0 on the clock, then it's the Ukrainian who will have the bronze medal.
Ivanitska this time trying to get the better of Hangai again. She has that waza-ari lead. She has 13 seconds. She is happy to tick the clock down. If she can get a submission, she'll try, use all her power to hold that last few seconds and ensure that Hangai is unable to get back in.
The gong goes, and the bronze medal for the 3rd time in her career and the 3rd time in a row goes to Yulia Ivanitska of Ukraine. Excellent management towards the end. Managed to keep her opponent away from being able to attack her. She got the waza-ari with about a minute and a half to go, and then kept her opponent at bay without backing off, without being negative, kept her in the clinch, and it's a 3rd bronze medal in a row for Ivanitska.
She was was in command all the way through that bout and was in a position to be able to take that bronze medal, add to her tally. Great win for Ivanitska of Ukraine.
Referee leads them off, and no gymnastics this time. Relief, exhaustion. It's been a long day, and there's a big hug to match it. Julia Ivanitska, the winner by Wazari. Halfway towards an ippon, but she managed to nurse that lead all the way through to the end until the gong sounded to herald the end of the 4-minute bout. We see the Wazari again. The right foot sweeping round and taking the legs from under her opponent. That's my technical nuts and bolts English translation of it.
And well, look at this. This is just wonderful, isn't it? The celebrations after this, the job has been done. She's done an incredible piece of work there to take another bronze medal.
2 bronzes, and now it's down to silver and, of course, gold. Shahana Hajieva of Azerbaijan taking on Sandrine Martinet of France. Martinet, the hot favourite. Hajieva first from Azerbaijan. Victories over Hangai and Potapova, whom we've seen in the bronze medal matches thus far. Hangai coming up just short, Potapova getting the first of the 2 bronzes. And then the red-hot favourite, Sandrine Martinet, defeating Lee in the quarter-finals. And then the Ukrainian Ivanitska in the semis. Won both of her bouts by ippon. And she is the person they were all aiming for. This is her 5th Paralympic Games. Silver in Athens in 2004. Same again in Beijing in 2008. 5th in London, disappointment for her there. Won the gold in Rio, so she is the defending champion. 38 years old, the #1 seed. Taking on the #2 seed, so how's about that for a gold medal match? Shahana Hajieva of Azerbaijan, only 21 years old. 2nd in the World Championships in Odivelas in Portugal 3 years ago. And there, Martinet in white, she only finished 3rd. So this should be an incredibly tight contest. Martinet being led out by the referee. Hajieva, less visually impaired. She used to compete in fully sighted judo at junior level. But enough of the preliminaries. Let us get this gold medal match underway.
And Martinet came into this bout with such a powerful track record in defeating her opponents earlier on. If she's going to produce the same kind of power, then look out, Hajieva. But Hajieva, of course, won't have any of that. She's going to bring in her top game to try and take this gold medal and the Paralympic title. Referee calls Mate, they'll come back to this centre. And as they do so, Martinet, she'll reflect for a second how frustrated she was with the delay of the Paralympics and how it affected her home life and had to spend time away from her family. She won't be so disappointed now that she's in this gold medal position. And in the next 3 minutes and 37 seconds, she'll either be a gold medalist again, or she's going to be a silver medalist, because it is Hajieva who's taken the initiative. She now has a Wazari lead.
Yes, a sweep of the leg took the balance from underneath Martinet. Martinet falling with one shoulder to the tatami. So it's the number 2 seed who has the lead very early on, still in the first minute, but she's halfway there.
Sumio Toshi was the technique she used for that Wazari. Martinet will have to dig deep now if she wants to get herself back in contention. She's still got plenty of time, 3 minutes to go. Decides to try some groundwork here if she can get hold of one of those arms and repeat what she did earlier with a submission. She's got a hold of the arm. Had to let it go though. Referee calls mate. They'll take them back to the area.
We're in the lightest weight category here, so we're seeing some very agile and nimble fighters. If you're with us over the 3 days of para judo here at the Tokyo Paralympics, then we'll be getting up to under 71, then over 71 kilo category for the women, under 100 and then over 100 for the men's, and it's a different kind of combat. Here it's very much the flyweights buzzing around the 10 by 10 meter mat. And you'll be wondering now why they're allowed to go out into the red, out of the yellow. Well, if you've begun a move inside the yellow and the referee judges that it began and it's still the same move, then he will allow that to continue. Cyril Page is the coach for Sandrine Martinet. He's been her coach for a good number of years now, since she was 8 or 9 years old.
The referee Hirano Hirozuki from Japan gets them back into the action. Martinet still has quite a bit to do. She's trailing by that Wazari from Hazieva. Hazieva still fishing as Martinet tries to do the turn and set for the throw, but she's not able to do it as they get close to the edge of that tatami now. The action started inside the area, but now it's been stopped as the referee doesn't believe that there is going to be a score. So he'll bring them back to the center once more.
Clash of the generations. 38-year-old Sandrine Martinet, mother of 2. Shahana Hajieva, just 21 years old.
"38 years of age, Martinet, but a world of experience as she tries the Kyoto."
Well, it's been given by her coach, but the referee had none of it.
So it didn't quite come off. There is an opportunity for a video review on occasion if they believe that there is a score to be had and worth challenging for.
Page, the coach, telling Martinet, keep going, this is good, keep going, keep doing what you're doing. Halfway through this gold medal bout, though. And it's the number 2 seed, Hajieva, who leads by Wazari.
And all can change in a matter of milliseconds. Martinet will realize what she has to do. She's trying all of the armory that she has to her disposal, but once more goes down to the mat, tries to bring Hajieva down with her, wants to get hold of that arm, if she can turn it over. Good groundwork here from Martinet, and good defense from Hajieva.
It's eating up time on the clock as well, which is going to help the fighter in blue. She's the one with the lead. And it's down to 78 seconds. Coach Page keeps saying, this is fine, but the clock is ticking down.
And there's a fine line between panicking and going too early or just taking too much time and seeing it eroding in front of you and then having to run out at the end of it. So it's all down now to the last 1 minute, 18 seconds. Martinet in the white against Hajieva, who is leading with that Wazari. And she's going to be taking her time. She'll be able to regroup, take a deep breath, catch her breath, get back into the action. Kumikata, take the grip. Straight into an attack there from Martinet. Hazieva doing well here to keep her distance, keep her at bay. Martinet tries a Sioi again. Hazieva went down with her, frustrating the French fighter.
Inside the final minute. The defending champion in white still has a lot to do. If it remains, coach keeps telling her, this is fine, it's going to come. If it's going to come, it's got to come in the next 47 seconds.
And there is time, 47 seconds. You see, Hazieva is now taking a bit of time, in fact, too much time, and she gets a Judo as a result. She's starting to puff a bit, and that will fall into the trap of Martinet if she can get her into that position, put more pressure on the younger Hazieva of Azerbaijan. 40 seconds still on the clock, still time for her to turn around this Wanwazari lead.
Excellent there from Hazieva, who makes sure that she doesn't fall on her back when she's being flipped there by her opponent. We're down into 25 seconds. Don't worry about that yellow card on the scoreboard. It won't affect the scoreboard unless we get to 3 or 4 of them, and we're not going to have that in the remaining 22 seconds. So the defending champion has less than half a minute in which to turn it all around, either to equalize with a Wazari and take it to golden score, or to win it with an Ippon. You can win it and you can lose it in the blink of an eye.
You can indeed, and Hazieva is taking much more than a blink of an eye, because she's trying to do all she can to catch her breath. She's really getting quite tired now, and Martinet will know that. She's got 22 seconds on the clock. She's going to have to make strong attacks, and she's going to have to wear this fighter down from Azerbaijan. She's got it in her arsenal to be able to do that. Hazieva is using all of her skills here to take her time to regroup. That Wanwazari lead is just fine, but Martinet, she's going to go for it.
It's the equivalent, if you like cricket, it's the equivalent of sending for a new set of batting gloves. 20 seconds to go.
Martinet trying to get Hazieva into a position where she can make an attack. She's only got 12 seconds left in which to do so. Hazieva skipping round, keeping out of danger, playing this last few seconds quite cleverly. Martinet drops to the tatami. Referee calls mate. Only 5 seconds left. Is this going to be too much now for Martinet, as Hazieva is managing these last few seconds really quite well?
Toot sweet, says the coach. It's got to be done straight away. There's a video review.
That video review will be conducted by the referee commission off to the side of the tatami, and here's what they'll be looking at.
Tension with 5 seconds to go. Is this for Martinet going down? Is it the equivalent of an own goal?
Potentially. There's only 5 seconds left on the clock. She's got a big challenge here. Hazieva waiting to see the outcome of this video review. And it is a score for Martinet. Wanwazari is giving the score to Martinet, which levels it. Wanwazari each. Hazieva holds her hands up in some disbelief here. She believes that it was her that should have received the score. 1-1 it is now. If this remains away for the next 2 seconds, Hazieva stays on the tatami Golden score it is then.
5 seconds away from a gold medal was Hadzieva, and now she has it all to do. Anything can happen now. Don't worry about the Judo for the moment, the yellow card. That won't matter until we get to 3 of them, in which case that's the equivalent of a waza-ari. Now, any score will win it. A waza-ari will be enough, and Martinez somehow has the wind in her sail. She equalized with 5 seconds to go.
And it was Hadzieva who was finishing the bout really quite tired, and Martinez will know that, and she can feel that when they make contact. Martinez trying to get on top of here. Hadzieva is struggling to hold herself in a defensive posture.
Referee allows this to continue, and then the second part of the move was begun outside the mat. Now, how long does golden score go on for? It goes on for as long as it has to. I've seen a gold medal match that went on for an extra 9 minutes at the Asian Games 3 years ago. So it can go on for far longer than the bout. It's until there is a score.
Now, the stamina and fitness of Martinez may be too much for Hadzieva, because she was struggling in that 4-minute bout. She's going to be struggling even more. Unless she can get herself into a scoring position, Martinez wouldn't allow her down on the tatami. Trying to get a leg round. There's a waza-ari score.
And it's gone the way of the number 2 seed, Shahana Hadzieva. How about that? She lost the gold medal with 5 seconds left on the clock in normal time, and then within 40 seconds manages to pull that one out of the bag, and she has taken the gold medal.
Fantastic the way she came back from that. She was struggling to start with, but then she found her second wind, so to speak, and has taken the gold medal for Azerbaijan. And Sandrine Martinez has to settle for silver on this occasion. Great result for Hadzieva.
Look at what it means to her. Listen to what it means to her. Overcome with emotion. What a performance from her. She lost it and then she won it. And now she's going to be draped proudly in the flag of Azerbaijan. Gold medal to the 21-year-old. Wonderful to see that there are some members of the Azerbaijani delegation in the crowd here at the Nippon Budokan. What a turnaround that was. I thought during golden score, well, she's going to throw caution to the wind and give it one last go. She was looking incredibly tired, and you thought if this attack doesn't come off, then that could be curtains for her. But it did come off, and it gave her a gold medal. It's going to have to be silver for Sandrine Martinez, the same as she got in 2004 and 2008. Here's that final score once again. How things can change so quickly. She was 5 seconds away from gold and had it snatched away from her with a waza-ari that required video review and disbelief almost all around the Budokan. It went to golden score and she really had to recompose herself, and she certainly managed to do that. She was looking the tighter of the two fighters and then managed to pull it all out. Gold medal to her. So from the women's lightest weight category to the men's, the under 60 kilos, once again we will have 2 bronze medal matches, and then we will go on to the gold medal match. First of all, Marcos Blanco of Venezuela. The number 10 seed, aged 29. Came through the repechage, and he's here trying to bring home some hardware. Coming up against Recep Çiftçi of Turkey. A couple of outsiders, the number 10 seed against the number 13 seed. Çiftçi, 26 years old. A little bit more pedigree to him. came third in the European Championships in Warsaw in the West Midlands 4 years ago, and then moved it up to second place, silver medal in Genoa in Italy 2 years ago. Obviously, since then, there's been very little competition with the pandemic. As we see the two coming out, ready to do battle for one of the two bronze medals. In blue, Marcos Blanco. It's the other way around, really, isn't it? Blanco should be in white, surely. But Blanco is in blue, and Chifchi is the one in white. Blanco with the red circle on his left arm there, which signals that he is fully visually impaired, so he is led out to the blue sticker in the middle of the tatami by the referee.
Chifchi was a wrestler before he took up judo, so look out for any techniques that may come from his experience as a wrestler. His advice would be to continue working with determination and faith, and don't just practice from time to time. So that's what he is, committed athlete. Recep Chifchi, wearing the white colors for Turkey. Marcos Blanco in blue for Venezuela. Starts to get into the action here. There's Chifchi on the floor, on the tatami. Tatami being the name for the mat that judo's practiced on here in the Nippon Budokan, the spiritual home of martial arts in Japan. The referee brings both of the fighters together, and Mikata is the reference he'll make, and that's where they hold on to each other, so they start from the same position. There's no advantage until they start to move around the tatami, as we see now. Both of the fighters are trying to find a weakness there. We see Blanco dropping down to the tatami. Chifchi just steps round, gets on top. Can he get a lock on? Can he get the arm into position? No, he can't. Referee calls mate, back to the center. Once more, underway. Coming into 3 minutes along the clock. Again, Blanco drops down to the tatami. Chifchi, this time, there is a score on the board for the Venezuelan.
Wazari for the man in blue. You've seen he was down lower, flipped his opponent over, managed to get half of Chifchi's back on the mat. So that gives him the lead.
Your belt is the center.
So he'll be thinking about this lead that he has for that Seo Inagi. When he did the drop down, he tried it earlier, nearly came off, but it did on this occasion. Chifchi has got to have to overcome that speed that we see here from Blanco when he drops down to the tatami, and Chifchi's now in a commanding position. Can he get that lapel? Can he get a strangle on? Can he hold him down? He's got his arm underneath. Is it going to be good enough? Can he force a submission? Yes, he can. What a fantastic way to turn that round from Chifchi. Brilliant ippon.
Recep Chifchi, the number 13 seed from Turkey. It's not number 13 now. He is equal third. He has won one of the two bronze medals, coming from behind in this bronze medal match, conceding the early Wazari, and then getting the Masai, the submission from his opponent. Blanco being helped up by the medical staff.
And it just shows you how quickly tables can turn in judo. One moment you can be winning, and the next second you can be choked out.
Congratulations, first medal at the Paralympic Games. Turkey.
Delight for Turkey. Delight for the former wrestler. He actually acquired his visual impairment in an accident whilst wrestling, so it's wonderful for him to be able to completely pivot his career and get the reward, as we see the Wazari to begin with. That was for Blanco, but then Çiftçi came barreling back.
There was the Sonoi Nagi there as he dropped down, landed on his side. But this is where Çiftçi came in, managed to get that lapel and put Blanco in a position where he was not going to escape. Had to tap out.
Delight for Turkey. Delight for coach Muzaffer Ulukam. And delight for that man, Recep Çiftçi. First bronze medal. Who will join him on the third step of the podium? Will it be Sherzod Namozov of Uzbekistan or Alex Bologa of Romania? We will find out most likely in the next 4 or 5 minutes.
Look out for the groundwork of Bologa as he defeated Japan and Azerbaijan.
Bologa, the #1 seed coming in here. He was bronze medalist in Rio de Janeiro. He's wearing blue this time out. The #3 seed, Sherzod Namozov of Uzbekistan, 29 years old, defending champion from Rio. He hasn't been able to defend that title. He's perhaps someone who regrets the fact that we had to delay these Paralympic Games by a year. He was on quite a roll, winning in Rio 2016, Jakarta at the Asian Games in 2018. And here he is, hoping to limit the damage, as it were, and make sure he comes away with at least a bronze, but standing in his way, Alex Bologa. Bologa, the reigning European champion, won it twice in a row. He's the man at the front of your screen there, in the blue, with the red circle indicating that he's fully visually impaired. He won the European Championships at the under 60 kilo category in 2017 and 2019.
Friendly tap on the back there from his coach as Alex Bologa is led out by the referee to his position. Sherzod Namozov wearing the white colours for Uzbekistan. And straight down onto his back, Bologa, which is a signature of his style of judo.
His coach was telling him to be aggressive from the off, before the referee called Hajime for the very first time. That referee who leads Bologa, fully visually impaired, back to the blue marker.
And again, the referee gets them underway. Look out for Bologa again, looking for an opportunity to drop to the tatami to try to get Namozov. But as soon as he's down here, he closes up, keeps himself really tight position here, so the referee calls Mate, gives him a chance to get back into position and restock.
Namozov did things the hard way to get here. Got eliminated in the quarterfinals by Çiftçi, the bronze medalist that we've just seen, and then he had to come through a pre-repechage, or a pre-pechage, as I like to call it, against Ukwider. Then the actual repechage against Sukbatur, and here he is going for bronze medal.
Coming up to a quarter of a way through the bout, still no score. Again, Baloga goes down to the tatami. He's trying to get Namazov down there with him so he can work that niwaza, which he's so good at. If he can get an arm lock on or a strangle.
First Shido of the competition, so the first yellow card sanction goes against the fighter from Uzbekistan, Namazov, and that was for not getting on with things.
The referee calling Jogai, getting close, and Namazov skipped round Baloga. And this time, Namazov got the arm on the lapel, but can he get it across? Mate was called. Referee just losing the audio connection with the rest of the referee team. Looks like Namazov may have injured his finger or something, but that's quite possible, of course, in judo. Some of the grips can end up with a sprung finger. It seems to have bothered him too much. He's trying to get around, get hold of that lapel of Baloga. If he can, and then skip across over the back and put on a strangle. That's what he was trying to get to.
Contest between gold medalist Namazov and bronze medalist Baloga from Rio 5 years ago. Namazov in white, Baloga in blue. That is very much the style of Baloga. He is determined to try to continue with that strategy. Namazov almost got the hold down, the katami he was trying to go for. Once more, Baloga saved by the referee, calling mate in that occasion, I think. Adam Jamulov is the coach on the left, who is handing out a lot of instructions to Sherzod Namazov. Thomas Görgeli is Baloga's coach on the right, the quieter of the two. Still giving some advice, but less animated than his Uzbekistani counterpart.
And there is a fine line of instruction and advice that they can give, and the referee can warn the coach if necessary. He doesn't seem to be too bothered about that at the moment. Into the last 2 minutes of the bout, still no score. Baloga for Romania, wearing the blue colours. Namazov, the defending champion. He's wearing the white colours. Not a great deal between these two, though, at the moment.
Just the one Shido as well that went against Namazov. That won't affect the scoreline in terms of taking it to golden score, which is something we've got to start thinking about, particularly since it's going to be one apiece now. So one against Baloga, a Shido, a yellow card against Baloga for pulling down on his opponent, which is obviously something he has to be very careful with that preference of his to be on his back and getting the opponent, trying to get the opponent down. And, well, an exchange of Shidos, yellow cards left and right.
Namazov can't afford another because that will be the end of his challenge for a medal here. Baloga, for that false attack, he was got his Shido. Once more he drops down to the mat.
Yes, a third Shido is the equivalent of a Wazari. And that would be a score going against the person picking up the third Shido and for the opponent. And then a fourth one is the equivalent of an Ippon.
Time getting close up, 1 minute 30 seconds still to go. Namazov is getting a little frustrated with the tactics of Baloga, but that seems to be quite effective at the moment for the Romanian fighter. 2 Shidos each now. That's the second one for a false attack from Baloga. No more opportunities there. They've got to fight for this. They've got to score. Once more, Baloga drops down to the tatami. Namazov looking stronger of the two in these closing stages.
.79 seconds to go. A reminder that we will go to golden score if it's level, and those 2 Shidos apiece will be carried over into the golden score round. And that's when they become really dangerous. Pick up a third Shido during golden score, then that is the golden score that goes the way of your opponent. We're approaching golden score, but it's almost a metaphorical golden score from here on in. If either of these two can get a Wazari with barely a minute to go, then that could be enough to grab that bronze medal.
And they will both be going as hard as they can to make sure that bronze medal goes in their direction, as again Baloga drops down to the tatami. Namazov walks back, has a glance over to the coach. He's still giving him instruction how he feels he should close in on this remaining 54 seconds of the bout.
Down goes Baloga once again.
Haide sus, Alex! Deplasarea e problema! Deplasarea! Trage spre tine! Trage spre tine! Deplasarea este problema! 45 de secunde mai ai, hai! Chiar, 30 secunde, șlești! Deplasare!
He's really quite vocal, the coach.
The 2 fighters impassive. The 2 coaches very much fired up. 45 seconds to go. No score. 2 Shidos apiece. A bronze medal there for the taking.
This time Baloga staying on his feet, looking for the opportunity. Tries to drop CI, but defensive tactic there. Cartwheel, sorry, the wheelbarrow off the tatami to get himself out of trouble there, Namazov.
It'll be a cartwheel when one of them takes a medal, I'm sure. But yes, that was very much the wheelbarrow. 24 seconds to go. Golden score, and it really is golden score from here on in. Anyone who gets... There's a Shido that goes against Namazov. A Shido that is synonymous with disqualification.
And it could be, and you can see in the back there, one of the people there asking for it to be overturned. The referee just awaiting to see if that is going to be the decision of the referee commission or not, or whether they will allow that sanction to stand. Well, Namazov most definitely did try to evade. There's no question about that. And it's been overturned. So that would have been really quite harsh in those closing stages. But it's still all to play for. 2 Shido each, 0-0, heading towards a golden score. Namazov trying to get onto that arm lock, not able to.
The coaches on their feet. There seem to be coaches left, right and centre here in the Nippon Budokan. 14 seconds to go. Any score will win it now, positive or negative.
Once more, Baloga takes that decision to go down to the tatami. Namazov just points his palms up in the air, a little frustrated with the tactics of the Romanian fighter.
You were saying to the referee you were quite happy to give a third Shido against me that's been wiped off. How about that one? 9 seconds to go before we go immediately into golden score. Can someone seal it at the death?
Coming into the last second, and both of them seem to be resigned to the fact that it was going to go to golden score.
No time for drinks, oranges, change of ends. It gets underway straight away. And now from metaphorical golden score, meaning anything could win it from here, it literally is. Anything positive or negative, a Wazari, a Shido, or of course a Nippon will win it and win a bronze medal.
And the bout is well and truly even at this stage. No scores to either of them, and 2 Shido apiece. Komikata calls them together. Take the grip.
And Hajime to get them underway.
So Namazov trying to stay upright. Baloga trying to take him down to work on the tatami. Has been his strategy all the way through this bout, Alex Baloga. Just a moment of weakness from each of them. There's the attempt there from Ouchi, from Namazov. Didn't come off. Very close. Baloga just managed to get himself out of danger.
Namazov in white looking the fitter of the two as we approach the 6th minute of this bout.
Again, Namazov looking toward the referee for some sort of support in his view that Baloga is trying to frustrate and not compete.
I think there have been a lot of half Shidos.
Yes, if there were such a thing,
yes,
it could well have been the case. So the defending champion, Namazov, in the white. As we move into the first minute of the golden score. Who is it going to be that breaks the tie here? Again, Baloga goes down to the tatami, and you see the gesticulation here from Namazov. He's really getting frustrated and trying to influence the referee, who of course will have none of that. It'll be his decision with the referee team.
Yes, the coach, Namazov's coach, Jamolov, was gesturing for the TV screen to be consulted. Of course, one move here, either positive or a false move, will decide the outcome of one of the bronze medals. There's a lot of appealing for a third Judo.
Well, it has to be said the defensive tactic of Alex Baloga does seem to be to drop to his knees and tuck up tight and to frustrate Namazov, who seems to be the more positive of the two in this golden score period. Of course, I say period, but it will just go on until there is a score, negative or positive.
Yes, there's no way for the referee to decide who's won it on points, who deserves it more. As we see in certain combat sports, the only way the referee can decide that is by awarding a Judo penalty to one or the other.
And the frustration from Sherzod Namazov continues as he's now finished looking at the referee for support. He's looking across to the referee commission.
It obviously would be a very brave call from the referee to decide the destination of a medal based on a penalty.
Nobody wants to see that. It was almost, the technique came off then. Much better to see medals won in such important events like the Paralympic Games through a positive score. Namazov has to be mindful. Although Baloga does drop to the tatami, he is so dangerous if he gets hold of one of those arms or in a position.
Down he goes again. He's being told by his coach, Baloga, to breathe. Remember to breathe. Easier said than done when you're about to enter the 7th minute of a medal contest. Namazov's coach telling him to punch him. I don't think that's quite going to be allowed. That will definitely incur the wrath of the referee and a Judo.
So we're now in the 7th minute of the bout. 4 minutes proper, 2 minutes of golden score. Still everything equal. Namazov still trying to get that throw, and again Baloga drops to the tatami.
I think he's appealing to us now. He's tried the referee's commission, and now he's saying, you, the viewers at home, please write in. And here it is.
Here it is.
Finally, the golden score, the Judo, but it goes against, once again, it has gone against Namazov. And that means that it is Baloga who wins it by default. We thought that would happen, that it would be a third Judo. We expected it to go against Baloga. It went against Namazov. Baloga wins the bronze medal.
So all of the gesticulation to the referee commission, then it all turned tail, and it was in fact Alex Baloga who was to come out victorious with that bronze medal.
Delight for Baloga. The younger of the two, 25 years old, bronze medalist 5 years ago in Rio, and he repeats the feat here 5 years on at the Nippon Budokan at the Tokyo 2020 Paralympic Games. Delight, relief, exhaustion. Now he can breathe.
So the strategy of Baloga dropping to the tatami paid off for him in the end, because Sherzod Namazov didn't want to join him down there and would stand up each time and was trying to influence the referees in his favour, but it went against him in the end, and the win goes to Alex Baloga, who takes the bronze medal.
These are the highlights of this bronze medal contest on the screen.
Well, the final Judo was given against Nemozov for a lack of attacking intent. Probably was a little too much of the backing off, letting Bologa fall, releasing the grip so that Bologa would look as if he was going down too easily.
It was an illusion that he was trying to create, and the referee was having none of that.
Be that as it may, the two bronze medal contests are in the books, and now we're going for the big ones, the silver and the gold. Anwar Sariev is the first man up. Representing Kazakhstan, the number 4 seed, 29 years old. And he's taking on Vugar Shirinli of Azerbaijan, 28 years old, number 5 seed. So these were guys that you would have been expecting to be around the medal conversation, most likely bronze. But here they are battling it out for gold. Shirinli in his first Paralympic Games, he's the one in white. Whereas Sariev of Kazakhstan, he was there in Rio 5 years ago, finished 7th. Dragged that up to 5th at the Asian Games, so he's someone who has definitely benefited from the extra year of preparation that has been given by the fact that Tokyo 2020 was delayed for a year. These guys entering their prime, Sariev, 29 years old, Shirinli, 28. Shirinli in white on the left of your screen represented Azerbaijan in fully sighted judo until 2018 and won the Grand Prix in Tashkent in 2017 in the under 60 kilo category. So he certainly has pedigree.
Referee calls them together. Kumikata gets started. Sariev practiced judo and sambo. Koresh wrestling before his accident, and he began practicing judo when he was 12 years old.
Shirinli, who defeated Bologa in the semis to get here, whereas Sariev got the better of Blanco. Blanco, who lost the bronze medal match a little bit earlier against Chivchi, and then Bologa, whom we've just seen in that epic contest, getting bronze in the end over Nemozov.
We have Shirinli wearing the white colours for Azerbaijan. Both of them trying. There was Sariev trying to do that drop. Sioi Nagi. Plenty of action in this bout. Both of them really going for it.
Shirinli scrambling around there, making sure he didn't fall on his back. Obviously the throws that lead to either Wazari or Ippon, you have to get your opponent to land on their back, either partially for a Wazari or fully for an Ippon. That's why the opponents, the victims of the throws, will make sure that they fall forwards. You quite often see them spinning round in midair to make sure that they land forwards. Referee Olivier Desroses from France making sure that both of the combatants are correctly attired.
Each just exchanging little taps of the feet, trying to find a way to set ready to make their attack. We see there for Shirinli, tries the drop, comes off, gets a Wazari on the board. So the Azerbaijani fighter takes the lead with that Sioi Nagi.
Shirinli halfway to a gold medal already. One more Wazari would do it for him.
Once more he goes for that drop shoinagi. And there we have another Wazari. This time it goes for Sariev. 1-1, evenly balanced this bout. Could go either way.
Well, now the pair of them are halfway there. An exchange of Wazaris in the space of around 20 seconds. Mind you that this is the gold medal match.
Oh, referee not satisfied with the kumikata. They need to be standing upright. Arms need to be slightly bent. Once more, Shirinli tries the drop.
Particularly in a high-stakes match like this, does your mindset change when it's one Wazari each and you're halfway there, or when you've got a Wazari of your own, do you then only look for a Wazari, or are you still always looking for the big one?
I think it's always going to be Ippon is your objective. If you can get Ippon, it's game over and you're going to take the gold medal. But of course, when you are in a position when it's 1-1, you don't want, and the clock is ticking down, you don't want to make a mistake. You don't want to be in a position where you're going to give your opponent the opportunity, even for another Wazari, because that would then be a Wazeti Ippon. So, whilst the big score is the good one, then it's still a dangerous situation for both fighters.
The margin for error is lower.
Absolutely.
And you can lose it even more quickly and even more easily. 100 seconds to go in this gold medal match, locked at one apiece, one Wazari each.
Oh, there was a Yoko Tominagi attempt there from Shirinli. So both of these fighters are really trying to go for it. No question of intent. But it's Sariev who's getting the Shido for non-compatibility.
That won't affect the scoreboard if it's still 1-1 at the end of the 4 minutes. But it will be carried over into golden score.
Small Shirinli tries the drop. Coming close to the last minute of the bout, still 1 point each, one Wazari each. That's the second Shido against Sariev. So he's had his last chances now. He will lose the bout if he falls foul of the referee again. And that builds confidence in Shirinli. He knows that Sariev cannot be negative.
Can't be negative, can't afford another Shido either now or if it goes to golden score. Shirinli has that margin for error, having not picked up any Shidos yet. Less than a minute to go.
And that's a position where he can use that to his advantage if he finds himself in a position of danger, of losing a point. Much better to pick up a Shido than a point. Oh, there's a Uchimata attempt again from Sariev.
Shirinli landing on his head. Taking one for the team there. Sacrificing his own personal health to make sure that he doesn't, there's no part of his back.
So close. That would have been spectacular if he'd have just been able to turn that a little further. That was a brilliant attempt at the Uchimata from Anwar Sariev.
Excellent from Shirinli to get out of it without either of his shoulders touching the mat or outside the mat. That would have been Wazari against him. As it is, 24 seconds to go.
And there's an Uchimata attempt there from Shirinli, who gets another Wazari. That's Wazari Awaseti Ippon. The two adding up to Ippon. And the win goes to Shirinli of Azerbaijan. Brilliant technique. Great result.
Well, it certainly was an excellent display from both of them, going at it hammer and tongs in the last 35-40 seconds of this bout. And then a spectacular way for Vuga Shirinli in the white to win it with a second Wazari, flipping his opponent Anwar Sariev. What about that was between the 28 and the 29-year-old.
And what a sporting gesture there from Shirinli to hold the arm of Sariev in the air. Great respect between these two fantastic judoka.
Delight for Azerbaijan, despair for Kazakhstan. It's despair at the moment. As we saw the man in blue being comforted by his coach, but pretty soon when it comes to the medal ceremony, he'll realize how well he's done today to win silver. But it's all about Vuga Shirinli, the 28-year-old number 5 seed who has taken gold. 2 Wazaris. What a performance from him. And here we'll see the highlights of that gold medal bout.
That was the Uchimata attempt there. We see the leg, good height. Shirinli just taking his man down for the score. And that's the one that gave him the gold medal. That's the one that made him Paralympic champion.
Well, barely time to take a breath after that gold medal match. We have the women's under 48s and the men's under 60 kilo categories in the books. And there will be a little bit of a break because we're going to have those gold medal ceremonies. The first of those will be for the women's under 48 kilo category that we saw a little bit earlier at the start of this session. Six women's and 7 men's weight categories is what we have at the Paralympics. Going from under 48 to over 71 in the women's, and then under 60 to over 100 in the men's. Showcasing all different types of para-judo. We've seen the nippy, nimble flyweights buzzing around the tatami in the first part of this session. And then when we get to the end of the 3rd day of para-judo, which will be on the 5th day of the Paralympics, there we will get the behemoths, the leviathans, the big ones, showcasing a different type of para-judo. Take them a little while, I think, to set the podium up, although we already have the flags at the ready there for the first medal ceremony. You can see the Azerbaijani flag in the middle. What an opening session it has been for Azerbaijan. Hajieva in the women's and Shirinli in the men's, making it a double for that country.
And although there are no spectators in the Nippon Budokan, the spirit of the judoka around the world is on the tatami to watch these athletes get their well-deserved medals.
Yes, the flags are ready. The podium currently being set up. And we will, of course, bring you the medal ceremony as soon as it begins.
Ladies and gentlemen, the victory ceremony for the women's under 48 kilogram category.
皆様、ただいまより女子48キログラム級の表彰式を行います。
Please welcome the medalists.
メダリストをお迎えください。
The first medal ceremony at these Tokyo 2020 Paralympic Games in Judo. It's the women's, the lightest of the women's medal categories, under 48 kilos. 9 competitors at the start of the day. There was a quick playoff, a preliminary to get it down to 8 for the quarterfinals. Quarters, semis. Those who lost to finalists got to go through repechage, potential bronze medal matches, and then we had those 2 bronze medal matches and the final, which is why we will have 4 medals. The CEO of the International Paralympic Committee on hand to hand out these medals.
Of Sports Administration, Ministry of Education, Chinese Taipei.
Chinese Taipei 教育部体育所副所長。
Bronze medalists representing RPC.
銅メダリスト RPC
Victoria Potapova. And representing Ukraine.
ウクライナ
Yulia Ivanitska.
The 2 bronze medalists who won the bronze medal matches. Yulia Ivanitska. Bronze in London, bronze in Rio, bronze here. 3 bronzes 9 years apart. And Victoria Potapova from the Russian Paralympic Committee. A 4th bronze for her after Athens 17 years ago, Beijing 13 years ago, London 9 years ago, daughter Stefania born 8 years ago. Wonderful for these women to have had such long careers. Potapova, 47 years old. Yulia Ivanitska, spring chicken at 32, there she is.
Silver medalist representing France,
銀メダリストフランス
Sandrine Martinet.
Disappointment for Martinet after silver at Athens 17 years ago when she was just 21. Silver in Beijing, gold in Rio. After she took time off to have a son and a daughter, she was hoping for gold again this time around. Just silver for her, but still an excellent achievement.
Gold medalist and Paralympic champion representing Azerbaijan,
金メダリストパラリンピックチャンピオンアゼルバイジャン
Shahana Hajieva.
21 years old, the number 2 seed. Finished second in the World Championships 3 years ago, and she's on the highest step of the podium here. The first of at least 2 gold medals today alone for Azerbaijan. What an achievement for para-judo in that country.
Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem of Azerbaijan.
皆様アゼルバイジャン国歌の演奏です
What a dramatic and stirring national anthem that is, and we'd better get used to it because we're going to be hearing quite a bit of it during these Paralympics, and in particular here at the Nippon Budokan. And the first time we're hearing it is in honor of that woman there, Shahana Hajieva, 21 years old, gold medalist. Hajieva, who defeated Hangai Shizuka in the quarterfinals. Potapova, who is there on the podium with the glasses on in the semis, and then Sandrine Martinet in the final. Everyone on the podium was a multi-medalist coming into this event, other than Hajieva, and she's outdone them all. They've got bronzes, silvers and gold between them. And Hajieva came in a mere 21 years old and proved to be the class of the field. The obligatory biting of the medals. It's the only time the masks are allowed down during a medal ceremony here at Tokyo 2020. They are allowed to pop the masks down, give the medals the obligatory bite for the photographers, and then masks straight back up. So the first medal ceremony is in the bag. Let's get back to the action, back to the tatami, off the podium, back onto the mat. It's women's again, the second weight category of the day, the second lightest, under 52 kilos. And once again, we are going to get underway with the bronze medal matches. Fujiwara Yui of Japan squeezed through in the quarterfinals against Basti Safarova. Safarova going out due to an accumulation of shidos. That was a controversial tie. And she is going up against Alicia Stepaniuk. Lost in the quarters to finalist Priscilla Gagné, and then came through the repechage to make it through to this bronze medal match. Stepaniuk in white, 36 years old, number 8 seed. As we see the Brazilian referee, Jefferson da Rocha Viena. He will be in charge of this 4-minute bout between the number 8 seed, Stepaniuk, and the number 10 seed, Fujiwara. Stepaniuk, 36 in white. But leading us out first, Fujiwara, 28 years old, in blue. Stepaniuk, already a bronze medalist, 13 years ago in Beijing. 5th in London 9 years ago, and took time out, start a family. She has a daughter, Daria. And here she is back again, seems to be peaking at the right time. Runner-up in Genoa in the European Championships in 2019. And here she is going for a second Paralympic bronze medal.
The referee brings the judoka to the center to get ready for the bout. We have the women's minus 52 kilogram. It's the bronze medal bout. One of the 2 bronze medal bouts. As we get underway, the referee calls Jogai, letting them know that they're getting close to the edge of the tatami. As Fujiwara goes down to the tatami, Stepaniuk trying to find a way. Can she get her arm underneath? If she can get hold of one of the lapels, she might be able to put on Sutemiwaza, strangle.
Once they get a grip, they will be back underway again. I'm sure we'll see Fujiwara kicking out with her feet. It's the tactics of hers.
So this Fujiwara on top.
Молодец, немножко боишься, включайся, не бойся.
Referee gets them back into the action. 2-0 between the two of them. 3 minutes on the clock.
Wazari goes the way of Stepaniuk. Takes the early lead.
Referee calls it Yame again. Mate stops the bout.
I think it was good avoidance from Fujiwara to make sure that it wasn't an ippon. She managed to twist in midair, and so only the one shoulder went down, but it still was enough for a Wazari to give Stepaniuk the lead.
The Kumikata, they get underway. It's hold of a neutral position to start with. There's the attack there from Fujiwara. Stepaniuk takes it down, holds, looking for the grip if she can. Working her way round. Fujiwara finding, she's now turned her, she's got her on her back now. And the clock is starting to tick down. You see that on the top left of the screen. 6 seconds, if she can hold her down. She'll take another Wazari, there we go. Awaseti ippon. So she's added a second Wazari. So it is Stepaniuk who has taken the win and the bronze medal away from Fujiwara.
The second Wazari there comes from pinning her opponent down for 10 seconds. Referee put his arm out to start the count. Up to 10 gives you a Wazari, and that was all she needed. She already had the original Wazari from a throwing technique earlier on in the bout. So 2 Wazaris, that makes an ippon, and Alessia Stepaniuk has another bronze medal to go with the one she earned 13 years ago.
The line from the coach. As you see here, she got the win by ippon, combined techniques.
Combined techniques, meaning that it was a combination. It was 2 Wazaris adding up to the ippon. The first was from a throw, the second one from a pin. So it literally was combined techniques, but it's the way of officially saying that it was 2 Wazaris makes 1 ippon. And it makes for one very happy competitor.
The highlights of this bronze medal contest on the screen.
And here we are, we see the action unfolding here. And she's looking at Kazuri Kamishiho Gatami to get that second Wazari with the Sumagaeshi. Together making the Wazari Awaseti ippon.
Next contest, bronze medal contest.
2 Wazaris makes an ippon, and 2 bronze medal contests makes for 2 bronze medals. And here is the second of those 2 contests, where we have Ramona Brusig. She is the slightly heavier of the twins. We had Carmen in the under 48s and now Ramona in the under 52s. Ramona, number 6 seed, but what a pedigree she has. Gold medals in Athens 2004, London 2012. Silver in Beijing and Rio, going for bronze here, but standing in her way is Natalia Nikolajczyk, number 11 seed, 34 years old. Another medalist herself. She got bronze in London 9 years ago. Ioana Babiuk of Romania is the lady in charge of this particular bout. Brusig, who was defeated in the semi-final by Priscilla Gagné, who will be in the final any minute now. Whereas Nikolajczyk had to go through the repechage. She won a very, very quick preliminary match. She was the only person who had to play in a preliminary round of 16 match and defeated Won Chompu in the space of about 25 seconds. And then went down herself to another of the finalists, Shireen Abdellaoui, whom we'll be seeing a little bit later on. So she got to come via the repechage. And here she is now.
And you see the red patch, the red circle on the sleeves of Nikolajczyk, signifying that she's a B1 class athlete, therefore completely blind. So the referee will give her a little more assistance and lead her to the starting positions each time. But we're underway. Getting close to the edge there. You hear the referee calling Jogai. Nikolajczyk tries that sweeping technique, but Brusik is up to that. Nikolajczyk couldn't quite get her arm underneath to get hold of that lapel of Brusik. Brusik is a category 2 class, B2.
The coach there telling her to get her right hand further up. So let's see if she manages to do that as we get back underway.
Both getting ready for the set there, and Nikolajczyk trying a throw, but Ramona Brusik is on top again. She's trying to get her arm underneath the neck of Nikolajczyk. See if she can apply that strangle.
It's all about the right hand as far as Brusik's coach is concerned.
This Nikolajczyk gets a score.
And it could be a double. Not quite. It is.
She managed to get the tap out there.
And how about that for Nikolajczyk? She got the wazari, looked like she was going to go for a double wazari with the 10-second hold, but she managed to get a tap out from her opponent. Ramona Brusik gives best and says, Maisa, I'm giving up, I'm tapping out. And so Nikolajczyk, to go with her bronze in London 9 years ago, she gets another bronze this time around. Delight for the woman from Ukraine who taps on the badge and is carried down by her coach.
And look how much it means to the pair of them. And it's all about teamwork. It's not just the athlete on the tatami, it's the coach off the tatami and all of the team that support these athletes to see them succeed. They all share in that success. Natalia Nikolajczyk.
Delight for her. She was world champion 7 years ago at Colorado Springs. She's a bronze medalist here for the second time in her career, the 34-year-old, proudly waving that blue and yellow Ukrainian flag. 2 bronze medals in the books for Stepanyuk of the Russian Paralympic Committee and for Nikolajczyk, as we see how she took that bronze.
Here we have Yoko Shihogatami. And the other Masari was for Yoshiro Kesugatami. Great win there for Natalia Nikolajczyk of Ukraine.
And what's the name of the hold when your coach picks you up and carries you down the steps and you can't touch the ground?
That's called a cuddle.
Ah, there we go. I want the Japanese name for it, though. Moving swiftly on, let us get down to the real business end of the women's under 52 kilo category. And there we have Shireen Abdellaoui of Algeria giving herself, firing herself up. Victories over some very storied fighters, and here's another storied fighter for her to take on. The Canadian flag bearer at these Paralympic Games, Priscilla Gagné. The number 2 seed, 35 years old. 5th in Rio. She's going to pick up a medal this time around. Which one will it be? Shireen Abdellaoui, the number 4 seed, just 22 years old. It's her birthday tomorrow as well, the 28th of August. She will turn 23 tomorrow. As an 18-year-old in Rio, she just turned 18. She was 18 years and 11 days old when she won bronze in Rio 5 years ago. What's she going to take home this time? She's in blue. Will she be taking home silver or gold? Either way, she's getting the blood flowing. Priscilla Gagné, fully visually impaired in the B1 category, as we can see, brought up there by the coach and then taken out onto the tatami by Vasily Simon, the referee for this contest. The women's gold medal match in the under 52 kilo category.
We have Gagné in the white colours with that red patch.
Fast and furious start.
Straight into the action from both of them. Referee calling Mate.
I'm sure we're going to hear the Algerian coach saying agressive, agressive. He usually speaks Arabic, occasionally the odd word of French in there, but perhaps he will avoid that since Priscilla Gagné lives in Quebec and speaks French.
Each time I come back to the center of the area, where the kumikata once more. Nothing between these two, all square. Plenty of time to get on the score. Abdellaoui taking the initiative. Gagné drops down to the mat.
There's Laharoui Nadia Belarbi, the national coach for the Algerian para-judo squad. And there's definite gamesmanship going on between the two coaches. Both of them avoiding French, which would be the common language. One speaking Arabic, the other one, André Sade of Canada, speaking English.
But these two athletes are speaking the language of judo. Both of them desperately want to go away with a success and the title to go with it. Cancelling each other out somewhat. Still plenty of time, 3 minutes 16 seconds in which to score. Nothing between them. The sweeping technique, the Ashiwaza. There's the takedown there, and that is the score from Abdellaoui.
Wazari to get her on the board. You saw Gagné's shoulder hitting the deck. A half throw, but it's enough to get her halfway there already. A minute into this gold medal bout, and Abdellaoui, the number 4 seed, is the one who takes the lead with a Wazari.
And effectively, she was too with that Koichigari. That sweeping technique from the leg of Gagné. So Gagné taking hold of the leg of Abdellaoui. Careful there. Abdellaoui got hold of that. She could put on a lock on the elbow. Just the Wazari difference between the two at the moment. Again, jostling for position. Abdellaoui tempted to take her down. Gagné flat on her face here as the referee calls mate. Gets them up. All square again. Back on the start position. Still the Wazari difference between the two. Gagné there. Much stronger attack on that occasion. Couldn't quite come off for her though. Abdellaoui managed to keep away and avoid going down on her side. Coming up for the halfway stage. Still just the Wazari between them.
Gagné waiting patiently to be brought back in by the referee.
Abdellaoui just trying to duck under, drop that elbow under. Can't quite pull that off though. Gagné managing to keep out of danger. Oh, wow. There we go. There we go. Great technique there from Abdellaoui. Brilliant. Takes the hip on. And she is absolutely delighted with that. So she should be. That was a fantastic technique. Komio Nagi, brilliant.
Yes, there's she needs to complete the bout. She's been lying on the floor in delight, much along the lines of a tennis player who then needs to go to the net and shake hands with her, his or her opponent. She needs to go back onto the blue where she is now and have the official judgment from the referee. A big hug for Gagné, but it's Sherine Abdellaoui, a day shy of her 23rd birthday. Bronze medalist in Rio de Janeiro and a gold medalist 5 years on here at the Nippon Budokan. Delight leaps into the arms of her coach, La Rouarie Nadia Bel Abi. Disappointment for Gagné, but tears of joy for Sherine Abdellaoui. 23 tomorrow, gold medal today in the women's under 52 kilo category. Winner by combined techniques, so it's two Wazaris. That second Wazari looked good enough for an ippon for me.
Oh, it looked great. She was just slightly off her, on her side. She was just slightly out there. Otherwise, it would have been ippon, but it was a brilliant technique. Gagné just managed to wriggle slightly off, landing fully on her back.
But the Wazari that Abdellaoui had already gained earlier in the bout was enough, adding the two together. What a performance from her. Defeated Nikolajczyk in the quarterfinals, Fujiwara in the semis, Gagné in the final.
Here's how she did it. There we go. And just fraction away from landing clean on her back. Very good. Excellent, in fact. Gold medal performance from Sherine Gagné.
You can see the highlights of the final on the screen.
Sherine Abdellaoui. Wow, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Well, we're doing things in alphabetical order, it would appear. We've had 2 gold medals for Azerbaijan, 1 for Algeria. As the tatami is mopped away. There's obviously a lot of, I was going to say blood, sweat and tears. We've seen the sweat and the tears. Fortunately, we haven't had any of the blood, but definitely a lot of sweat, a few tears, one or two of distress, but mainly of joy for the gold medals that we've had so far. As you can see in the background, the flags are being prepared, not for the women's under 52 kilo category that we've just seen, but for the men's under 60 category that we had a little bit earlier. And as soon as the tatami has been cleared, disinfected, as you can see, in COVID-safe protocols, and as soon as the podium is up there, we will bring you the medal ceremony.
Ladies and gentlemen, the victory ceremony for the men's under 60 kilogram category.
皆様、ただいまより男子60キログラム級の表彰式を行います。
Please welcome the medalists.
メダリストをお迎えください。
The first of the weight categories, the first of 7 weight categories in men's judo here at the Tokyo 2020 Paralympics, the under 60 kilo category, the lightest, the featherweights. As is always the case in combat sports, 2 bronze, 1 silver, 1 gold. And as you may be thinking, if you watch the women's under 48 kilo category, well, always 2 bronze, 1 silver, 1 gold, and it's always a gold for Azerbaijan. 2 in a row for them today on this first day of Para-Judo. Mr. Kim from the Paralympic International Committee here to present the medals.
Director General of Sports Administration, Ministry of Education, Chinese Taipei.
and Dr. Lin from Chinese Taipei, who was here for the first medal ceremony as well.
Bronze medalists representing Turkey.
Recep Çiftçi, who defeated Blanco of Venezuela in the bronze medal match. And then that very long second bronze medal match. Alex Bologa of Romania taking the bronze in that one over Namazov of Uzbekistan, that ended up going down to the Shidos, down to the yellow cards, if you like. 3 sanctions going against the man from Uzbekistan. And that meant it was Bologa of Romania who took the second bronze. The number 1 seed, reigning European champion twice in a row in 2017, 2019, bronze here today. And then Çiftçi, second in those European Championships in Genoa, number 13 seed, and went all the way to bronze medal today.
Silver medalist representing Kazakhstan. Anwar Sariev.
Sariev defeated Sukhbatar in the quarters, Blanco in the semis, and then came up short. Got an early Wazari in the final, but it ended up not quite being enough for him. Bronze medal for the number 4 seed, sorry, silver medal for the number 4 seed. He was 7th in Rio 5 years ago as a 24-year-old. And here he is on the second step of the podium.
Gold medalist and Paralympic champion representing Azerbaijan.
Paralympic champion, Azerbaijan.
Vugar Shirinli.
After Hajieva in the women's, it is Shirinli in the men's. Azerbaijan, a clean sweep of the lightest weight categories to kick things off in para-judo. Vugar Shirinli, what a performance from him across the day. Defeated Çiftçi in the quarters, Bologa in the semis, and then Sariev in the final. And let us listen to that rousing Azerbaijani national anthem for the second time today. Azerbaijan, very good at national anthems and very good at para-judo, as they are proving today. What a proud podium once again for them. Vugar Shirinli atop it, Anwar Sariev on the second step, and then Recep Çiftçi and Alex Bologa. Çiftçi going over, taking Bologa with him. The 2 bronze medalists come together, the 4 medalists together. What a wonderful sight that is. Good on you, Recep Çiftçi, looking after your fellow bronze medalists. Lovely to see. That's what the Paralympic spirit is all about. It's lovely, the 2 bronze medalists holding on to one another. Alex Bologa, as we said earlier, in the B1 category, so he's completely visually impaired. And there is Recep Çiftçi helping him down the steps, handing him over to his coach. It's lovely. But now all eyes on the man, the fighting man from Azerbaijan, Vugar Shirinli. 2nd gold medal for Azerbaijan already. Had one for Algeria as well. Australia been doing incredibly well in other Paralympic events on this day 3 already, so it really does seem to be a case of alphabetical order. Plenty of photos for the gold medal winner, 28 years old. Here at his first Paralympic Games, and he's coming away with the shiniest and brightest of medals. Don't think it's actually in the books yet, though, because he hasn't bitten his medal. And if you don't bite your medal, you don't get to take it home. Someone needs to tell him that.
But it doesn't detract from the taste of gold, that's for sure.
So we have 2 medal ceremonies in the books, and we have 3 of the 4 weight categories done and dusted. Let us get round to the 4th and final one for this first day, men's under 66 kilo category. And as always, we will start with the bronze medal matches. Georgi Gamyashvili of Georgia is the first man up, and he will be taking on Seto Yujiro of Japan. Yujiro, just 21 years old, number 19 seed, did things very much the hard way, had to go through a preliminary round, as you can see there, and then through the repechage again. Even went through almost a preliminary repechage, so he's been very busy today. And he will be hoping that his reward is a bronze medal, but to do that he will have to defeat the number 3 seed. First out, wearing blue, he'll be first onto the tatami, Georgi Gamyashvili, 26 years old. 3rd at the World Championships in 2018, 5th at the Euros in 2017 and 2019. Looking to make it 3rd here today. Not quite sure what the advice was there from the coach, but it certainly put the frighteners on me.
Well, he wasn't messing around, that's for sure, and he doesn't expect his fighter to either. As the referee, Gregory Moore from the United States, prepares to bring them onto the tatami for this bronze medal encounter. The men's minus 68 kilogram category.
Seto Yujiro in white on the left at the moment. Georgi Gamyashvili in blue for Georgia on the right. 4 minutes, as is always the case.
Great thing about the martial arts and judo is the rei, the formal bow to each other, the bow to joseki, the honourable space in which they are going to compete for this bronze medal. As the referee calls Hajime, gets them underway. Seto Yujiro for Japan in the white. Gamjashvili, a powerful nation of Georgia, very strong judo. And we have the speed and agility, the swiftness, the beauty of the style of judo practiced in Japan, and the powerhouse of Georgia, the strength of the Georgian fighters. And we see the Gamjashvili there trying the Uranagi, the takedown to the back, the throw to the back.
Well, it's been awarded as a Wazari, but there's someone there who definitely wants to see it given as a Nippon. And he's being told to cool his jets a little. That is the Georgian coach of Gamjashvili. 4 cries of Ippon, but be that as it may, it's already, it's at least a Wazari for Gamjashvili. So he takes the lead in this bronze medal contest. The Georgians will be very keen to register a medal here after their neighbours, Azerbaijan, taken 2 golds already today. So there need to be some Black Sea bragging rights won back for the Georgians.
So Gamjashvili, he has the lead. Got a Wazari with that Uragatami. It was Seto who tried the attack, and there was Seto this time with the Ashiwaza. He's leveled the score, 1 Wazari each now.
Well, what about this has been? And that obviously to the delight of the school kids who've been allowed into the Nippon Budokan today. Delight to see that their man, 21-year-old Seto Yujiro from Itoshima in Japan, has levelled the score.
Gamjashvili has got his arm of Seto. Couldn't quite hang on to it though. Seto managed to wriggle free. They're back onto their feet, go back to the centre, and the referee will get them on the way again. Very close match this between the two. 3 different styles of judo. Referee calling Jodai. So Gamjashvili tries for the Uchimata, but he's overturned. And the score given, Ippon for Seto. That was a brilliant technique by the Japanese fighter. The Uranagi attempt there from Gamjashvili, unsuccessful, and then the counter with that Ippon score from the Uchimata. Brilliant technique from Seto Yujiro, who takes the bronze medal.
What a performance from Seto throughout the day. Had to go through the qualifying round just to get into the quarterfinals, and there he is coming from behind against the number 3 seed. Conceded the early Wazari, was undaunted, came back, got a Wazari of his own, and then finished it off with a real flourish to the delight of the Japanese people in the crowd here at the Nippon Budokan. Bronze for him. Wins it with a flourish.
Turn the table there on Gamjashvili. From that attack, he managed to put in an Uchimata Sukashi counter. Brilliant by the Japanese fighter. Chance now to see how this worked. There was the Uchimata tap. And Seto stepped over it, got out of the way, turned the tables on Gamjashvili. so cleverly done.
Defense turned into attack. The attempted uchimata, where you put your leg between the two legs of your opponents and try to flip them, but Seto could see that one coming. He has the first bronze medal. Who will get the second one? Will it be Namig Abbasli from that nation once again, Azerbaijan? Or will it be the #1 seed, David Korava, here of Ukraine, 33 years old. The winner in London 9 years ago. Bronze in Rio 5 years ago, looking to repeat that particular feat.
In white judo, representing Azerbaijan,
Third in the European Championships in Genoa 2 years ago. Abbasli had to go via the repechage, but did so, and here he is going for the second bronze medal of the contest.
Just an opportunity to make reference to the referees of the bout, and this is Nedim Bayet of Turkey. Those referees have been working hard all day, and those that have performed particularly well get an opportunity to show their skill and to manage these bouts for medals. So congratulations to all of the officials for the work that they've done in getting themselves in this position.
Korava, #1 seed in the blue, with a shaven head, and then Abbasli, the #2 seed. So this bronze medal match between the top 2 seeds, they would have been expected to have been slugging it out for gold on opposite sides of the draw, but here they are still. One of them will take home some silverware. Real height difference between the two. And we're underway.
And straight into the attack there from Koreva. Abbasli just avoiding that attack, managed to keep out of trouble. Kumikata gets started again. Referee just reminding them they're close to the Jogai area, the edge of that yellow square. And Koreva trying to hold his opponent low. Abbasli, the tall of the two, finds himself again on the tatami. Referee calling mate, bring them back to the center again. So both these athletes, B2 class, and both have some light perception. Of course, it's very difficult for them to see that line of the tatami. Abbasli still very, very low, almost like two deer, buck deer locked in horns there.
Ukrainian team coach looking after David Korava. That's Anatoly Pirog. A minute done. They have 1 Shido each. So 1 sanction against the pair of them. This will only come into play if one of them gets 3, at which point that's a disqualification.
They have to be effective in their attacks, and the Shido they were given for adopting a defensive posture. So they have to do some work, otherwise the referee will say there's a Uchimata attempt there from Koreva. Once more ineffective on the edge of the tatami, and they been brought back in to start again. And neither at the moment in a position to make their attack. There was an attack from Abbasli. Quickly got back onto his feet. Coming close to the last 2 minutes of the bout. Still no score, just those Shido each on the board. Can one of them take the initiative? Got the additional height there of Absali. That low central gravity there is a turned him, but didn't quite get it effective enough to get a score.
Halfway through this second bronze medal bout. Obviously, if things are level, either 0-0 or 1 apiece, if each has a waza-ari, then we will go to golden score, and those Shido yellow cards will be carried over.
Well, it isn't going to be a 0-0 draw at the moment. We have that one Wazari lead. Again, Azerbaijan looking promising. Asli has 1 minute 43 seconds in which to continue in this position, and he'll take a bronze medal for Azerbaijan.
Twice that he's tried that move and it came off the second time, Abbasli. In my nuts and bolts explanation of things, I would call it a slide tackle. I'm sure there is a more technical way of describing it in Japanese and in judo speak.
As the referee calls mate again.
Well, the intensity's ratcheted up a notch, as you can hear.
Yeah, absolutely. And as that slide tackle you referred to, as he pulled him over, because he came over the body to Katakuruma.
I knew there'd be a good name for it, and I knew you'd know it. There we go.
I'll
try and remember that one.
But there are lots of throws and techniques that are very similar to others, and it's all about the set and the positioning of the athletes. But here's another Shido, and this is going against Abbasli.
So he's currently in the lead on the scoreboard with that Wazari, but he's walking a Shido tightrope. One more of those, and that Wazari will be wiped out. It'll be Ippon for his opponent. So this match very much still in the balance with a minute to go.
Now, pressure being brought to bear from Karava on Abbasli. 50 seconds still to go. Karava trying to turn into that Uchimata position. And tries to drop seal. Almost came off that time. Abbasli very nearly came a cropper, so to speak.
It's worked out well for Abbasli, though, because that stage of play lasted for a good 20 seconds. Just 32 seconds left on the clock. 32 seconds for Abbasli to survive. He can't back off. He can't afford another Shido. But he's got 32 seconds to survive, and another medal will go the way of Azerbaijan if so.
32 seconds is still a long time, and Kareva has still got an opportunity to level the score, or indeed to go ahead if he can pull off an Ippon.
Yes, all results possible. Kurava backing off and almost calling Mata himself when he realizes he's not going to be able to score. He doesn't wait for the referee to do it. He knows that the seconds are ticking down. As we can see there, he's already pulling out, thinking, I don't want to waste seconds. There are only 10 of them left on the clock.
Abbasli just tried to do a technique and he could drop down to the mat, but he didn't fall foul of the referee and a potential third Judo, and that would have been a loss. But he's playing a very clever closing stage to this, Abasli, frustrating Kareva, who has now just 4 seconds remaining. Abasli has the 2 Judo, so he can't afford to be negative. Got to manage his time.
And he's managed it very well, and he's managed to get himself a bronze medal, defeating Korava, the #1 seed in the process. He's the #2 seed himself. So at the end of the day, bronze medal, perhaps a little disappointment for him, but he's certainly not feeling disappointed. It's yet another medal for Azerbaijan to go with the 2 golds they've got so far today. It's a bronze for Namig Abbasli.
That's the formal tidying up at the end of the bout here, and he will be ready for the bow. There he gets the formality of the win.
Very exciting bout, considering it was only a 1-0, a tight 1-0 win.
But it could have turned into something more spectacular at any moment, and either of those fighters could have come out on top. But on this occasion, is it again an Azerbaijani fighter who takes the spoils.
Yes, we won't have the national anthem. We can all whistle it in our heads and hum it at home. But the winner by Wazari, that tightest of margins, Namig Abbasli, he takes the 2nd bronze medal after Seto of Japan. Got the 1st, which means we just have 1 bout left today. And it's not going to be won by an Azerbaijani for once. It's going to be between Uzbekistan and Spain to see who wins the men's under 66 kilo category.
It may well be the last bout of the day, but this was the way the bronze medal went. We can just see here some of the action from that very credible win there from Abbasli. You see the attempt at Uchimata didn't quite come off. But the way that Abbasli managed the closing stages and wasting those valuable seconds to hang on to that Asari lead and take the bronze medal.
Yes, 8 away at the seconds, did so constructively. And delight at the end. Bronze medal. What a day it has been for Azerbaijan here at the Nippon Budokan. The day that's not quite over. It's going to finish with a bang. Men's under 66 kilo gold medal contest. Uchkun Kuranbayev from Uzbekistan taking on Sergio Ibanez Banon of Spain. There he is. Had to do it the hard way, had to go through a round of 16 in an all Hispanic derby against the Puerto Rican. So he's been here since early in the day. 3 victories to his name. Kuranbayev, #4 seed, had a bye. Defeated Seto, who we've just seen getting a bronze, and Korava, who we've just seen missing out on one. So he's defeated storied and pedigreed opposition. Roland Poiga is the referee for this one. Resplendent in his 2020 jacket and tie matching combo.
And what a powerhouse he looks himself. Of course, all these referees are judoka as well. They've all been on the tatami, they can all do the job.
Not that I would tell him to his face, Roland Poiga, but he doesn't look like he'd quite get into the under 66 kilo category.
Probably not.
Not that I would either, so I can't comment. On the left, the fighting man from Uzbekistan, Uchkun Kuranbayev, the #4 seed, 25 years old. On the right, the outsider, still a #7 seed though, Sergio Ibanez of Spain, 22 years old.
You see both of the fighters have supports on their ankles, which is allowed. It's provided by, sanctioned by the doctors and the referees. Just gives a testament to the power and strength of these athletes who come through the rounds with injuries from sustained, even on the fingers you can see strapped up.
Final bout of the day is underway. The Spaniard in blue, the man from Uzbekistan in white. A gold medal up for grabs.
You see that pulling away from the grab. And Yame, or Mate, should I say, called. The referee giving instruction to wait. Judo being invoked for Karambayev. Let's get back into the action here. Ibanez wearing the blue colours, trying to get in command of that grip. Straight down for the Niwaza, the groundwork. Karambayev trying to find an opening. He can get his arm under, get one of those arms free. He can turn him over, try and hold him down.
Well, Ibanez's coach there was, he's almost doing the commentary for us. He was saying, you're fine, don't worry about it, tranquilo, you're okay there. No pasa nada, nothing's happening. So he was confident that Karambayev wasn't going to be able to turn that into a scoring move.
And Ibanez was now in the opposite position. He's now in command on top, and Karambayev is taking that defensive posture. They both get back into the start position. Kumikata, they'll take the grab, the grip. Has to be on the lapel and below, between the elbow and the shoulder, and the other arm. And you hear the coach again, tranquilo, take it easy. Ibanez is taking instruction.
There he is, the man himself. We've heard plenty of his voice, and there is the coach.
So, Karambayev just trying, probing with that leg, not quite committed to the attack yet, but there is Ibanez trying to sacrifice himself, try and get in a scoring position. One step forward. They need to be in a neutral position, so neither have an advantage in Kumikata. See Karambayev trying to get in a position for Uchimata. Ibanez always looking for Yoko Tomiyanagi. Trying to get his foot in a position to flip his opponent over.
Almost halfway through this final bout of the day for the men's under 66 kilo gold medal. The only thing separating them on the scoreboard at the moment is the one Shido that has gone the way of Karambayev.
That went against him because he was holding on to the trouser, and you're not allowed to do that. Oh, that was close.
That was one of those slide tackles. I can't remember the name of it
was
earlier.
Indeed, and Karambayev just managed to skip out of the way and out of danger. So we're into the last 2 minutes of the bout. This is the gold medal contest in the men's minus 68 kilogram. It's the last bout of the day, and the day's just flown past. It's been tremendous judo. Almost came off that time for Karambayev. Again, that tranquilo instruction from the coach of Ibanez.
Less than 100 seconds to go. If it's level when the gong goes, then it goes into golden score, but we're already into virtual golden score territory, where you start to think that a Wazari here might be enough to decide the destination of the gold medal.
Well, both of these fighters have put in a great deal of effort, so they're going to be tiring towards the end of the bout. And then if they have to go into golden score, that the fitter of the two will make a big, big difference. Once more, Ibanez tries to drop down, trying to get his foot onto the stomach of Karambayev. Couldn't quite get there, though.
In terms of fitness, they're both youngsters, both in their prime. Ibanez, 22 years old, Karambayev, 25. Ibanez had to go through the round of 16. Unfortunate when you're the number 7 seed, but that's the way things go. So he's had an extra bout today.
Referee just trying to get them to adopt Kumikata properly. Gave them the benefit of the doubt, didn't want to invoke a Judo. Ibanez is trying again to drop down to the mat. Karambayev not having any of that. They're brought back to the area, the center of the area. Coming close to the last minute of the bout, still no score between them.
However, we have a second Judo that's gone against Karambayev. So one more, and that's him disqualified.
Well, he avoided the combat there. He had no non-combativity, so that was why he got that Judo. Goes in there. Now we got Ibanez trying to get his arm underneath, see if he can take his man down once more. The referee calls mate. Both starting to feel this 4 minutes. We're closing into just 49 seconds of it remaining. See Karambayev just trying to shake out some of that lactic acid that may be building up.
Step forward.
There's a tremendous amount of energy in the arms that gets sapped out of the body. Trying to find a way to open up a weakness in the opponent's defenses.
39 seconds to go, no score. Judo against Karambayev. That won't affect it going into golden score. It won't stop it from being golden score. It's not a decisive criterion on the scoreboard, but they will be carried over into golden score if it gets that far, and it's certainly looking like it's going to. But as we said, it's virtual golden score from here on in. Anything will win it, surely, at this late stage of the final bout of the day, of the final gold medal match of the day.
And it could be the strength and fighting spirit and the tenacity of the athletes that makes the difference. Referee's not satisfied with Kumikata, wants them to start off in that neutral position as we close in on the last 22 seconds of the bout. Ibanez trying to get himself in a position to take Karambayev down. Karambayev having none of that try, goes for the Osoto.
Osoto, the hook around the outside of your opponent's leg. Well, it's been an absolutely thrilling end to regular time. There's calls for Wazari from the Spanish contingent.
There is indeed, and there is a video review. Now,
Will this decide the gold medal?
wow. Now this is a crucial call for the referee commission. Let's have a look at how this unfolded. He's turned him on his back.
Ooh, I'd probably be inclined to give that.
Now,
No. Golden score.
golden score it was.
No Wazari because he was already down
And he
it
wasn't clean
wasn't a
enough.
throw.
No,
it wasn't a throw. They were
He
already
rolled-
down.
He rolled him over, didn't he? So we're into the golden score. Okay. Karambayev trying to get on top there, but Ibanez defended well, kept himself out of trouble.
Coach has just told him, don't change anything. Keep doing what you're doing. Any score will win it now. Even a negative score, if there's another Judo that goes against Kuranbayev, he's out.
Exactly. Karambayev tries that Osotogari again, then he tries a Kouchi. Ni Ashi Harai. Ashiwaza, the sweeping of the leg. Not quite coming off though. Ibanez now coming back, starting to feel. Coming up to the 5th minute of combat.
One step forward. One step
Ibanez for Spain in the blue colours. Karambayev for Uzbekistan. He's the one with the 2 Judo. This time,
Judo out.
Ibanez is going to receive a Judo.
He's still got another one in his pocket, as it were. He was told to take a step forward and didn't.
Once more, Karambayev tries that. Oh, very, very close. And there,
that's it.
He got the Wazari. Absolutely brilliant. Ibanez was trying so hard to avoid going down on his side. Couldn't quite do it. Karambayev gets that Wazari. And he takes the gold medal, Paralympic champion.
The Spanish coach can't believe it. He's shouting Wazari blue. He thinks that it's his man who should have been given the Wazari, but it's gone the way of Kuranbayev.
Well, he's certainly animated, the coach. And he's asking for a video review.
Told to shake hands, as he just about does so. Real disappointment from Ibanez. Kuranbayev delighted. The 25-year-old from Uzbekistan takes the final gold of the day. It went all the way and beyond. It went the distance and into golden score. And what a golden score it was. It had a bit of everything. Didn't have an Ippon, but it had Wazari. It had Judo. It had video reviews. And in the end, it has a gold medal for the number 7 seed, Uchkun Kuranbayev, the 25-year-old from Uzbekistan.
And it was the attack there from Karambayev with the Uchimata that made him the winner and the gold medalist and the Paralympic champion in Tokyo 2020. And this is how he did it. Turned his man, got him onto his side. Ibanez tried all he could not to end up in that position.
Ibanez, who thought he'd got it there, he thought he'd got a Wazari there. That's what his coach was complaining about.
Exactly. But it wasn't to be. And this is the man who takes the gold and the Paralympic title.
Well, the finest of margins. That could have gone either way, both in terms of how the bout played out over 5 minutes and then the final seconds. the final 5 seconds, but it went the way of Uchkun Kuranbayev. His gold medal will be presented in around 5 minutes' time, but prior to that, we will have the women's gold medal presentation for the under 52 kilo category. And we'll bring that to you as soon as the podium is out and the flags are up.
Ladies and gentlemen, the victory ceremony for the women's under 52 kilograms category.
皆様、ただいまより女子 52kg 級の表彰式を行います。
Please welcome
The action on the tatami is done and dusted for the day, but we are going to have 2 medal ceremonies. Women's under 52 kilo category first. What a contest this was. Just the 9 competitors taking part, but incredible levels shown throughout the day.
Was
particularly
indeed.
in the medal matches towards the end.
Some great performances there, weren't there?
The medals will be presented by
メダルの贈呈は
Mrs. Katarina Hurt, Global Olympic and Paralympic Program Manager, Allianz SE.
アリアンスオリンピック・パラリンピックプログラムグローバルマネージャー
Accompanied by
続きまして
Mr. Takeshita Yoshiki, President of Japan Blind Judo Federation.
日本視覚障害者柔道連盟会長
Bronze medalists representing RPC.
銅メダリスト RPC
Alessia Stepaniuk.
36 years old, representing the Russian Paralympic Committee. To go with the bronze, she won 13 years ago in Beijing. She was also at the Games in London 9 years ago. Gave birth to a daughter, Daria. After that, came back, took part in the World Championships in 2018, second in the European Championships in 2019, and here she gets a bronze medal. And also for Ukraine, Natalia Nikolajczyk. Again, bronze in London 9 years ago, and she follows that up with another one here.
Silver medalist representing Canada.
銀メダリストカナダ
Priscilla Garnier.
The flag bearer for the Canadian Paralympic team here. 35 years old, fifth in Rio. It's one of the favourites here. Number 2 seed ends up with the number 2 medal and a hug from her coach.
Gold medalist and Paralympic champion representing Algeria.
金メダリストパラリンピックチャンピオンアルジェリア
Shirin Abdelawi.
Third in Rio at the age of 18 years and 11 days. And now first in Tokyo at the age of 22 years and 364 days. Happy birthday to you for tomorrow, Shirin Abdelawi, and congratulations on that gold medal. She was the youngest Algerian athlete from any sport to win a medal at the Paralympic Games 5 years ago.
Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem of Algeria.
皆様アルジェリア国歌の演奏です
Bravo indeed. And congratulations to Sherine Abdelawi. An Algerian flag proudly atop the podium.
Paralympic medalists.
皆様、パラリンピックメダリストです。
Gold for Sherine Abdelawi. 23 tomorrow from Algeria. Priscilla Gagné. Didn't quite win. She finished second. Silver medal for her, and then Stepaniuk and Nikolajczyk on the third, the longer step of the podium. As we have in all the combat sports, always 2 bronze medals. So after the brief posing for the medals, the masks go back on, as has to be the case. And the coaches will now escort their athletes off, proudly taking their hardware with them.
But it is a sad time, sign of the times, having to wear the mask. But I have to say that the organising authorities here in Tokyo have done a fantastic job to maintain the safety of the athletes and everybody around the Paralympic Games, and of course to protect these athletes who've done such a fantastic job themselves in showing the sport of judo and what can be achieved.
Down go the flags from the women's under 52 kilo category, and they will be replaced by the ones for the men's under 66 category, which is the final medal ceremony of the day.
Ladies and gentlemen, the victory ceremony for the men's under 66 kilogram category.
ただいまより男子66キログラム級の表彰式を行います。
Please welcome the medalists.
The fourth and final medal ceremony of the day is for the men's under 66 kilo category. And as you can hear from the applause from the smattering of people who've been allowed into the Nippon Budokan today, there is a Japanese judoka who is on the podium.
The medals will be presented by Mr. Norbert Biro, Chairman of the International Blind Sports Federation.
国際視覚障害者スポーツ連盟柔道委員会委員長。
Accompanied by
続きまして
Mr. Matsuzaki Eigo, Executive Board of the International Blind Sports Federation.
国際視覚障害者スポーツ連盟理事。
Bronze medalists representing Japan.
銅メダリスト日本瀬戸裕次郎。
Congratulations to the young Seto Yujiro, 21 years old, made it all the way through the repechage. Likewise, Namig Abbasli of Azerbaijan. It's certainly been that country's day-to-day, 2 golds and a bronze. He also went through the repechage. Those two doing incredibly well to defeat a pair of semi-finalists in the bronze medal matches and to earn those medals.
Silver medalist representing Spain.
銀メダリストスペイン
Sergio Ibanez.
22 years old. Made it through the preliminary round, the quarters, the semis, and was so close to winning the final. Took it to golden score. If his coach had have had his way, then he would be the one on the top step of the podium. But as it is, that's a big, proud silver medal for him.
Gold medalist and Paralympic champion representing Uzbekistan.
金メダリストパラリンピックチャンピオンウズベキスタン
Uchkun Kurabayev.
25 years old, the number 4 seed. What a final that was. 2 Shidos against him from very early on. Took it to golden score, stayed alive, and then managed to get that wazari that gives him gold medal in the men's under 66 kilo category.
Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem of Uzbekistan.
皆様ウズベキスタン国歌の演奏です。
Gold for Uzbekistan, silver for Spain, and then bronze medals for Azerbaijan. What a day it's been for them. And for Japan, wonderful that there is a Japanese medal here at the Nippon Budokan, the home of judo. It's a wonderful podium to see as well. All four of them new to the Paralympics. Youngsters all. 25 years old, the oldest, Kuranbayev. Very much the future of para-judo, particularly in this weight class. Uchkun Kuranbayev turned 25 just over a month ago, and he is the Paralympic champion at the under 66 kilo category. Also wonderful to see Seto Yujiro of Japan from Itoshima, 21 years old. I'm sure that Seto and Kuranbayev will have a few battles in the years to come, as will Ibanez. Came so close to winning gold today, but gold went to that country, Uzbekistan, and to that man, Uchkun Kuranbayev. Plenty of photo opportunities, obviously. Those photographs are going to be making their way back to Uzbekistan very quickly indeed. Plenty of photos going to Azerbaijan today as well, with their 2 gold medals and a bronze.